Hello again. This is Dennis Karstens. I've got my 2 cents worth coming out here. Here's one that really amazed me, just staggered me. The other day, in an effort to bolster Joe Biden, which I have no idea why anyone would want to do that. But anyway, Bill Clinton was talking about what a great president Joe Biden was. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble not laughing at this. And one of the things he said about Joe was what solid leadership he has given the country, okay? I wouldn't let this guy try to lead a troop of Cub Scouts across the street. Halfway there, he'd get lost, and the kids would have to help him. I have a perfect example here of Joe Biden's leadership. Most of you, at least I hope all of you actually, remember back when in 23 August of last year, a fire hit Maui Island and just about wiped out the city of Lahaina. It was horrible. I mean, just absolutely horrible. 100 people died, including children and women and kids. You know, it's just a terrible thing. Almost took the whole city down. 2 weeks it took Joe Biden to get his useless ass out there to see these people and see what happened. He should have been out there the next day. But here comes solid leadership from Joe Biden, and he shows up, and what does this fool do? He wanders around talking about how he empathizes with them because they had a house fire which amounted to a little more than a minor fire in their kitchen one time, and they almost lost their dog. What is somebody like that thinking about? Saying something like that to people who had just been wiped out, and he's comparing this to a kitchen fire that affected him? This is leadership. This man is a moron, for God's sake, and he has to go. When Bill Clinton said that, I just thought, you got to be kidding me. I understand it's politics, and he wants to bolster Joe Biden and, give him a chance to win. But even that I don't understand. How can you be so dedicated to a party, the Democrat Party, that you would be willing to sacrifice this country for them to have power, to put this old fool in power, and they're going to end up trying to do it. They knew all along that he was demented, that he was not fit for this job. Hell, it was obvious back in 2019 when he first started running. No one, on Joe Biden's best day, okay, he was nothing more than a second, maybe third-rate politician who did the bidding of the Democrat Party and the credit card industry of Delaware. He was known as the senator from MBNA, the huge credit card, Visa, MasterCard business. That's what his job was, to be there on their behalf. And no one ever looked at this guy and said, whoa, that Joe Biden, there's a shining star of intelligence. What a great president he'll make someday. And yet, because they're so afraid, and that's the problem here, folks, they're afraid of Donald Trump because our government does not work on our behalf. And when I say our government, I mean the elected officials and especially the bureaucracies that are run by lifetime appointments who basically trade the chairs with each other so that they all get different jobs and they stay in government their entire lives. They're terrified of Donald Trump coming in and cleaning out that nest of swamp rats. And that's the problem with him. Trump is not one of them, so they hate him because they fear him. Okay, I guess that's about it for today. I've probably, said enough. I've been told I need to do some more stuff here, but I do want to do one thing. As I may have mentioned before, and in case I didn't or you didn't get it, I'm a retired lawyer and I've become a writer. I've written 20 books, 17 legal mystery courtroom type dramas that are available on Amazon. They're really quite good. People really like them. And I've written a couple other books. One in particular, because of the courtroom drama books, a woman who is a big fan of mine contacted me and asked me if I remembered who Linda Tripp was. Now, for those of you who don't remember who Linda Tripp was, Linda was the woman that busted Bill Clinton's ass back in the late 90s with Monica Lewinsky and all that kind of stuff. She outed the whole thing. Of course, I remembered her. So this woman said, well, I had written a book entitled Political Justice about a couple who wanted the presidency so bad they would literally kill people to get it. So she asked me to send a copy of this to Linda, and I did. And Linda wrote back right away, and she said, my God, this is fabulous. You nailed these two. It was about the Clintons, no doubt about it. The reason I'm bringing this up is for those of you who remember this and would like some information about it. Linda asked me if I would help her write her story. Back in the 90s, she was criticized by the We Love Democrats media to provide cover-up for Bill Clinton, so they went after her claiming she was this crazy person who was just out to write a book and make money. So here we are 20 years later, and Linda's finally decided to write this book, and she asked me to kind of ghostwrite it for her, so I did. It turned out pretty well. The unfortunate part was I think it would have been a bestseller, but for Linda dying a couple of months before I finished the thing. So she was not available to go on the book tour. I did a lot of stuff on TV and radio for it, but it just wasn't quite the same. They wanted Linda, which was, of course, understandable. That's her story. But here it is. It's called, fittingly, A Basket of Deplorables, What I Saw Inside the Clinton White House. So if you want the true story about Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton and what a crazy rhymes with rich person Hillary is, Hillary is a piece of work, folks. And for all you women out there who think Hillary Clinton is a champion of women, she hates women. Linda made it very clear, and Linda's desk was literally 15 feet away from Hillary's office. So she was in the middle of all this. She saw every bit of it. And she would tell you if she was still with us, that Hillary was probably a paranoid schizophrenic and should be given inpatient treatment. She is just, it's hard to describe just what she is really like. And Bill is a weak, spineless man who only cared about his daily blowjob that he would get every morning from some woman. And I'm not joking, folks. It wasn't just Monica. There were a lot of women in the office that would trot into his office every morning, get down on her knees, and take care of Bill, as sickening as that is. So anyway, I wanted to put this out to you. Remember, A Basket of Deplorables. It's available on Amazon. It's Linda Tripp's story about what happened with Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton and how a 20-year-old, very infantile girl almost brought down a presidency, and what a joke Bill Clinton is, and how wicked Hillary Clinton is. It's well worth it. It's not very expensive, and it's not very long. It's easy reading. Anyway, thanks for that. Have a great day, and I'll be back in a day or two with more. Thanks again.